Hello everybody, Night and How's everybody today? I'm doing pretty good. Nice blue skies, sunny, breezy, not so bad. It's not sweltering anyway, that's a good thing. Today I want to talk about Cubans and Venezuelans that come to the United States looking for their freedom, and which they have every right to do and glad to have them. But why do they believe, after fleeing fascist and communist and Marxist socialist regimes, would they come to the United States and believe that Democrats are the socialists? Why would they believe that? Because Republicans are telling them that, that's why. And I don't know why they're believing what they're telling them, because it isn't true. Because I've been to Cuba before the new Cuba happened, and back then everybody had a house. People made about 10 pesos, like 10 American dollars, I guess you'd say, a month. So they worked in resorts to get all the extra tips and stuff like that. But a lot of other people didn't have those luxuries. They worked in state-run cafeterias and things like that. Didn't make much money. But now people can start their own businesses and stuff. I had this tickle in my throat. So anyway, yeah, they're fleeing all that stuff down there, believing Joe Biden is going to slowly roll them down the path to socialism again. Like he's the reincarnation of Fidel Castro or something. That's just not happening. Joe's always been for the working man. He always has been. Always been for unions and helping people and giving them a hand up, not a handout. So that's not happening. Nothing in Biden's past at all would suggest that he's a socialist. If you look closely at the rise of socialism and Marxism and communism, actually, you watch the rise of those dictators and stuff. You know who else's rise was identical to that? Well, that would be one Donald J. Trump. That's a fact. Now, there's a journalist in Miami. Her name's Lizette Alvarez. And over half of her family believes that Joe Biden is too senile to run the country. And if he does another term, he's just going to hand the country over to the Red Army led by Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders. We know that's not true. But anyway, yeah, that's what they're up to with that. Now, I just want to make a little comparison here. Today's Republican Party resembles the new Cuba in more ways than enough. Now, the new Cuba and the new Republican Party, people running like friggin' Joe to Satan, pushing back retirement age by 5 years, steep cuts in social programs, cutting energy subsidies. You notice that down in Florida? All your solar panels and all that stuff, all those subsidies are being cut by Ron DeSantis. Slashing welfare payments, reducing staff in clinics, at veterans clinics and whatnot. Well, at least I guess there's one good thing. In the United States, it's not going to cost you $275,000 for a 2006 Russian Lotto. We can say that much. Now, Lizette's family, half of them, one of her sisters actually works for the Republican National Committee, I believe it is. But she does work for the Republican Party nonetheless. So she's spreading all this stuff to half of the family, because the other half is Democrat and don't believe it. Now, her brother is a smart man. He has actually made a list on how to tell if you're a dictator or not. And then every one of these points, just add Donald Trump's name. Okay, so the first one is, wants military parades. That's what he wants. Remember, for Memorial Day there, he wanted to have friggin' tanks rolling down past the Capitol building and whatnot. Wanted his big military parades because he couldn't stand it. Just Putin and Xi and Kim Jong-un had those big military parades. He was jealous. He wants one. Holds huge rallies for no reason. Funny. So did Hitler. So did Castro. He's a narcissist who loves to see his name on buildings. How many Trump buildings do you see? Trump Tower, was Trump Taj Mahal. But mind you, they all went bankrupt, so I wouldn't worry about that. Appoints family members to high government positions. Oh, just like Jared and Ivanka? Yeah, they walked out of the White House with $640 million in their pocket, and he walked out of there with over $100 million in his pocket. Talks about jailing his opponents in the press. Sound like the Castros to you? How about Kim Jong-un? You can't talk about stuff. They can't talk about that in Russia either. So that's what Trump wants. He wants to be just like those big boys. Keeps his finances secret while sending the IRS and the FBI to climb up the ass of all his perceived rivals and opponents. Enriches himself while in power. We've already went over that. Over $100 million he walked out of the White House with. Plus a bunch of, I'm thinking, artifacts and stuff. Plus all the stolen secret documents and stuff like that, just saying. Suppresses voting. Remember Colin Raffensperger in Georgia? I won by a landslide. All I need is 11,870 votes. Right? Yeah, trying to suppress the vote and get him to throw out Biden's votes so he can win. But he didn't, because he's a three-time loser. And encourages militias. He doesn't mind the Proud Boys. In fact, he likes those guys. Remember, stand by and stand back? Yes, sir, we are standing by. Then the insurrection happened. Right? So we had that, and he likes the Oath Keepers. Doesn't mind neo-Nazis either, because, you know, fine people and all. So yeah, when you think that Democrats are socialists, have a good strong look at him. And also, in case you didn't realize, Trump had applied for registered patents and trademarks in Cuba. And he's been trying to get a building in Cuba since 2008. And he hasn't stopped. Now that trades and stuff have lifted a little bit, you betcha he's going to be in Cuba making money. You betcha, because he likes them dictators. I'm just saying, don't believe all you're hearing from these folks, because a lot of it is pure, straight up bullshit. I've met the Cuban people. They're wonderful. They're very smart people, and they're hard workers, and they love with all of their hearts. So anyway, if you know a Latin American that's thinking that too much socialism is happening in the United States and Canada, tell them about their Social Security that they're actually paying for. It's not a handout. They're paying for it. That's coming out of their salary for their retirement. It's not a handout. It's the same thing if you work for a company and you get a pension plan. That's your pension plan. Your money's going into it. You get your money out of it when you retire. But they're trying to push back your retirement age and everything else. So if you're a little sickly in your late 50s, early 60s, keep on working, because they want to push it up to about your 70s. So anyway, you take care. Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe. Mwah. Love you all. Be safe.